Welcome, Valorant fans, to the Ice and Fire Amateur Division Tournament. Today, we're bringing you round one of day one. I'm Ty Evans, joined with Recruit on this broadcast. We've got a little bit of an interesting matchup for you with these maps. It's NC3 versus Toon Squad, and our picks have been set up. Ascent, map number one, picked by NC3. Toon Squad decided they want to go with Icebox, and map number three will be Split. Now, Recruit, some of these are a little standard, but Split being brought in is usually a map most teams like to avoid.
Yeah, this map brings a lot of interesting play into the game because no matter which point you go to plant the spike, there will be a heaven that you're going to have to deal with, which typically most people like to push on the site, especially if they're playing something like a Cypher. You can just quickly smoke at yourself to over onto the site. But when you have heaven there, that brings a whole different that just brings a different game, honestly.
It is something that both teams will have to keep an eye out for. If we make it to all three maps, of course, since this is a best of three, winner could be decided during Icebox. Now, of course, both teams would normally pick a map that they are best on. So for NC3 picking Ascent right off the bat, I mean, we would have to be expecting to see some sort of strong stand here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, what I like to see here is that Ascent and Icebox both have a mid, but the difference here is that a lot of people actually enjoy going mid on Ascent, while in Icebox, that's typically avoided as much as possible.
Icebox is known to have that narrow mid, especially with the tunnel coming out from Kitchen. But for Icebox, this is Toon Squad. So even if they don't take map number one, there's quite literally favoring this second map for themselves, taking for a 1-1 split, hopefully. What is your just analyst here of Icebox if they're down 1-0?
Honestly, if they're down 1-0, that is going to be pretty bad, especially for their morale, knowing that they're then going to have to go on to split, and plus they're just on the ropes. And the problem with always going 1-0 onto the second map is knowing that you're going to have to win two in a row now. You no longer have that safety net. And trying to play with that stressor, I mean, even if they win that one, right? While whoever wins map one is going to be going into round three thinking, man, we took map one. We can just do it again. We had our loss, we can just win, lose, win. Versus if you lose map two, you're also going to be thinking, all right, we're not out of the ballpark yet. We still have to win. We got to keep it together. We just got to keep the ball rolling. And so you never get to relax if you lose map one.
Well, something to take into consideration for how these maps are going to be played is going to be the tail of the tape. Both teams, their stat lines coming through. NC3, we're showing a 60% on the Cypher, 55.3 on the Omen, 59.5 on the Sova, 52.7 on the Phoenix, and a 50.4 on the KJ. Whereas three members of Toon Squad are sitting under 50%. Their Viper 52.6 and their Cypher an incredible 74.1%.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that they're going to be hoping that Cypher can hold down his site on his own, as that is a Cypher's job. But not only that, he's the best player, so he's the most qualified on Toon Squad to be able to hold down a site on his own.
Some interesting win percentage range from both these teams, but moving on to the KDs, we do see a good 1.08 minimum for most members of each team, but then we do see a couple 0.97, 0.93. So overall, these KDs are fairly even.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a good match. And the funny thing is that the smokers on both teams are the ones that actually have the lower KD, which is understandable because they're smokers. They're not going to be trying to frag out.
It's definitely something we are going to want to keep an eye on. But the last thing we're going to go ahead and talk about are these headshot percentage, 16%, 15, where we do see their Cypher at 22%. Toon Squad, three members sitting at over 20% though on the headshot accuracy, which for most engagements is a huge deciding factor.
especially on that icebox. Because of those long range picks, you're going to be wanting to hit those headshots with the Vandal, and that's really what's going to decide that map.
Well, with these stats in mind, these percentages as well, we're going to go ahead and get ready for map number 1, Ascent, between NC3 and Toon Squad. And we do have defending first is going.
Select your agent.
It looks like is going to be Toon Squad NC3 on the attacking side. And these character selection, it's not typical, and it's definitely interesting to see, especially this attacking side.
Oh yeah, for sure. Brimstone is known to be one of the not the greatest smokers in the world, but I'm guessing they probably want something from his kit. So we're probably going to be seeing extensive use of that combat stim, especially since they have breach, which is really good for entry. So we're probably going to just see a classic rushdown strat here, but it could really be anything.
Oh, getting ready to set up. We do see Toon Squad, the double dually, the sentinel, the controller, and their smokes on Quinn. One thing to keep in mind is how they're buying. We see a sheriff coming out of cruise immediately. 2 ghosts, 2 classics with armor. NC3, they're opting for the ghost sheriff and classics as well. Difference is Dodo so far has not picked up armor.
He could be looking to save the round, maybe trying to get an early up.
Confident players do like their ops, and we already see going into attacking side. They're going for this B site, but it's been mollied off already. As soon as the flash comes through, teammates start rotating over, but not overly aggressive. Miniman keeping an eye on mid with his classic, seeing what he can. 3 members go in. Shots are fired, nothing hitting as of yet though, so Cat is gonna start becoming in control of NC3, doing everything they can to get through, but Miniman doing a good job of keeping his distance, backing off as best he can. All members are gonna funnel in through from straight. Wait, trying to do what he can, get some damage, but isn't able to find the same spot with the headshot. Miniman trades out
Spike
Crispy,
down A.
and this leaves the spike drop immediately picked up though. Sloth will find a second headshot with the ghost onto Cruz. Takes the sheriff out of play for now. Oh, he's getting shot up at no hits. He's so low.
Spike planted.
Unfortunately, he's not able to, but he is able to find a kill. Mo with the shot dart onto a Taru. Kill Dragon falls to Sleepy. Man finds the Sloth, but Mo gets the return.
Man, that was definitely an interesting round. It was looking like they were just going to push through B, but then they ended up rotating that mid. Like I said, most people on here actually like to play that mid. Because it's honestly just such a surprising factor. People don't normally ward up tree as much as they should, like Cypher did. He had his trap ready for the main push, but they weren't expecting the tree.
After a little bit of time, members of NC3 do start buying up. I was a little worried we weren't going to see them decide to buy this round, but we do see 3 Spectres, 2 Bulldogs coming out. They're going to try to take everything they can into a bonus round as well. Whereas for Toon Squad, Shorty with 4 classics, saving as much money as they can so they can have their ARs the next round. And with these smokes, the entry onto site begins. They're leading the charge. The Spectre from Fadi is good to find Teal Dragon. Dashing into Cruz, but he found 3 members. He didn't want to. Poison finds that kill. Sloth. It's a Taro on the back end. And Mini-Mid with the Shorty wants to try and find opportunity. He's not going to be allowed to. Sloth just keeping an eye on Market will find that kill. And coming around the corner, it's a nice 1v1, but with that flash, it's found by Mo with the Spectre. Round number 2, flawless, going the way of NC3.
You know, their entry on the site honestly wasn't the best. You hate to see Jets just dash into a wall, but they honestly made up for it with just purely better gunplay. They were just hitting their shots. Toon Squad really couldn't do much there because they only really had pistols. And so honestly, they probably went in knowing they were going to get a loss. They were hoping for that A push since they had their Shorty at the ready, but they just lost the coin flip on that.
Well, for round number 3, this is going to be the bonus for NC3, so Toon Squad can find an opportunity to find a round win here with this air advantage. 3 Vandals, 2 Phantoms. A little bit interesting since a lot of time during our tournaments, we do see Phantoms a little more favored over these Vandals, so Toon Squad definitely in these headshots. And speaking of headshots, Ataru, the double headshot with the transfer onto Quazon, already taking 2 out of the picture. Make that 3 headshots. He's definitely feeling this, Vandal. As we see 2 members pushing through mid. Oh, there's that shot for Min, but he's traded right back out by Dodo. That may give him a free. He does not pick up the Vandal, so Dragon will find the headshot with the Phantom as he tries making his way out of market.
Yeah, and they just really weren't prepared. NC3 went in having the confidence of a 2-win streak. However, Toon Squad, knowing that they probably had the rifle advantage because obviously NC3 doesn't want to ruin their economy, and so they just had the confidence, and the Phoenix just went in and just cleaned up.
Ataru showing off those headshot skills. Already 3 kills from 1 round. 2-1 in favor of NC3, but this is ARs all across the board. Now the difference, Quazon does not have that full shield. He's only able to get the half. This will see how it affects this round number 4. And incoming with the Owl drone, they're gonna spot Teal Dragon. They're not gonna get the dart out, but it's more than enough info for his teammate. It doesn't matter though. Dragon with the headshot on the Phantom. City spot for the first kill. Quinn tries to find a long one with the Phantom, unable to though. Ataru will immediately trade Mo out with the headshot. This Vandal is proven deadly on this Phoenix player. The run it back will be used confidently. And we see already pushing Catwalk. Fadi finds one. Ataru trades out Dodo in mid. They're trying to find him on the lurk, unable to do so. So 2 members on A site for free. 3 members right there. Toon Squad be regrouping outside 8 long for this retake. In comes the lockdown though. This will delay them for quite some time unless they are confident enough to full rush through. If they do not have that kind of time. They need to get out. 1 second left. They do have all 3 members detained. Ataru goes down to Quazon. This is a huge mistake to make. Minimen looking to push back in. Recon arrow coming out, unable to find any targets. There's one sitting under health. Neither of them properly check health. This has a free lurk. They're actually going to try and run out. They know they can't do anything. A headshot from Fadi finds the second kill as well onto Dragon, and he's more than willing to die to the bomb at this point.
As you can see, that round is a perfect example of how one mistake could lead to a loss. That Killjoy ult, the lockdown, definitely stalled on its own, but then the fact that they all got locked just meant that it got to stall even further. And then they failed to even check hell, though they honestly didn't even have all the time, really. They just need to go in and spray and pray and hope they could just defuse the bomb in time. But what I'd like to see from NC3 is them playing more to their advantage, because they tried to shoot down long with a Phantom, even though multiple teammates had Vandals.
We do see NC3 doing a split push here. 2 members on B, even making a little bit of noise, grabbing that ultimate orb. 3 members pushing up A long in the meantime. But it may be known that a rotation is coming out, because these 2 have made quite a bit of noise for Toon Squad to be a little more prepared towards this A side. Smoke even coming out, and Cruz with the Sheriff pushing forward. Just be careful though, because these are Spectres, ARs. Sloth is gonna pop the ultimate as well. There's gonna be a free entry onto site as best they can. You see Quinn, he's trying to hold an angle, see what if he can get whatever he can. He's gonna just sneak in with the smoke. No one even holding in. He may have a nice angle as soon as that smoke dissipates, but Sloth with the updraft finds Tar. Quinn, he's not finding the shot from the Sheriff. He has 3 members shooting at him. No one is finding the targets. And even with the vision, he finally coming out of the smoke will find Quazon. Fadi, headshot on the Dragon. Sloth finds Quinn with the Spectre. It's a 1v4. And many men, he does find the head of Sloth, but it's still 1v3. This is not going to be easy to do with only 25 HP. He sends out the bot. He wants to find a strike. He finds 1 because the shot, but the 2 waiting in main. Dodo will claim the final kill.
And Toon Squad really looking like they need to play it slower, especially Ataru. He got that 3 bomb, and he just thinks he's the bomb now. And he keeps going in without really much support. And I think that's the problem with a lot of fraggers. They do need to watch that, and on NC3, they haven't really been using the stims on Brim, which is interesting. I'm wondering why they chose Brim.
Well, it could just be for his molly and ultimate more than anything else. As a lot of players in this game do enjoy those abilities of his over even his smokes and
Here.
stim itself. But looking again at this A main push, we see all 5 members grouped up this time. The Owl Drone's going to make a little bit of noise, so there will be an awareness of a possible A push. Quinn's going to immediately fall back. We do sleep up in heaven. We have Cruz. He's trying to lurk as best as he can. The dash comes in from Sloth. Members on site with smokes. The ultimate coming in from the breach as well. Under heaven, Miniman finds one as Sloth took down Cruz. They're still trying to find what they can. Ooh, a nice little shock dart combo with the breach's abilities. This is going to become even harder for the retake Itaru. Doing what he can, he does find the head of Quaison. Miniman found the head of Dodo as well. That flash makes it hard to work from heaven. 2v4. This retake is looking better and better for Toon Squad. 2 members both near main. And Itaru, good idea. The ultimate coming out. Oh, Itaru did not wait for the Cypher ultimate to go. Just completely thought he found his head. Miniman found him. And I guess he needed to reload there because he pulled out the classic instead of doing so. They do get the defuse, however. Teal Dragon finds Mo pushing on to site. Too little, too late. Defenders find their second round.
Toon Squad is really playing for that retake on A, and for a moment it looked like they actually weren't going to get it, but then NC3 just backed off, playing around the Sova ult. You really don't like to see that, especially when they had no re-entry plan for the Sova ult, because that couldn't stall long enough, as we've seen. And so I think it's just both teams really feeling each other out right now and trying to figure out which is the best strat against each other.
Definitely a possibility, as both teams have ARs outside of Sloth, yet again opting for the Spectre. Body is going to be in with a half shield over a full shield, and Min and Ataru will be in the same situation as him. This is going to be more of an even fight across the board for round number 7, but this is an important one because this could determine whose eco is broken for the next couple of rounds. As we see Sloth being dropped to 30 HP over in this mid fight, Itaru healing himself up with the Molotov, but because of that is spotted out. He slides over to market, no shots coming through. Cruz will find Body over in mid. Quaison, however, onto site is found Itaru with a headshot. Cruz straight Sloth. Mo gets min. Teal Dragon finds 2 with the Phantom headshot. So Quaison Toto, he's flanked and has no support, so he will be taken down by Mo. However, Cruz is there to find him walking onto site.
That was really just a mid-control div, not to mention they did not expect Teal to be on site like that. That really caught them off guard, and they got punished severely because of that. And then the Jet coming in with the pincer attack from mid, that just sealed their fate.
Well, we see ourselves at 4-3. This is the opportunity that Toon Squad are looking for to find themselves even at last, as they all, yet again, AR's full shield. We see NC3, 3 sheriffs, a ghost, and even a marshal to try and take down as much shield and health as possible. So NC3, they're going to have to be careful on their push. Body slow walking up. Yeah, he has the ghost out. Wants to find anything he can. Even gets the flash off. Marks his way into sight and will find Itaru. Cruz will trade Sloth out. Quaison will take him down with the sheriff headshot. Quick finds a double kill over. Make that a triple kill with the spike over near tree. And the lone member is Mo. And unfortunately for him, Min is there to make sure that even with the Min, he's not going to find anything.
Man, that was an interesting fight. After they got the Vandal, I thought for sure that this was going to be the turnaround. They now have a Phantom. They're now ready to make their comeback. But what I thought was really interesting was that Mo had the Marshal, yet they were still peeking the long angles with the Sheriff. And I think that NC3 really needs to recognize who has what gun and let them take those kinds of advantages with that gun.
And C3 now finding themselves in a horrible eco position, needs to win this AR round cleanly or find themselves struggling for a possible 2 more rounds. We see Toon Squad feeling pretty good. Their eco is 3 members, over 4,000 credits still, even after buying. The smoke does give Steel Dragon an idea of what's going on, so he gets his arrow ready. Finds one member, saw that dash, but the headshot from Dragon, he's able to find that kill easily. The lockdown does come out yet again. They do have the 100 jury. They will take it out easily. But instead, they don't need to
Spike
because
down,
Ataru
B.
is here. He has not only been able to find the ultimate
Last
lockdown,
player
but 2
standing.
kills, dragging the head of Mo, and Miniman walking onto site will find the head of Fadi.
That was played beautifully on the side of Toon Squad. The Cypher Cage making sure that the Ataru was able to come out as a surprise and then just mow everybody down without... He even had the safety of his ultimate, so even if he did fail, they still had something to fall back on. And that's honestly what I like to see coming out, is them playing to their team's strengths.
Oh, we do see an interesting buy coming from NC3, 3 Spectres so far. And Fadi even going all out here, leaving himself with 50 credits. Looks like even more Spectres coming out with full shields. They must feel like they absolutely need to win this round to buy like this, because this eco will not be good. Entering on the site though, Fadi does find the head of Ataru. He was trying to find Quaison, who is very low. The ultimate from Sloth is not good enough. Quaiden finds the head with the Vandal. The ultimate though coming in from Fadi is good. Mo will find Dragon on site alone, completely concussed. This is a 3v4 retake. Not just that, being found a Phantom and Vandal in the arms of NC3, so this is going to be a little bit harder than if it were all Spectres. Numbers low as well. Frey coming through, trying to find whatever they can, but they're being forced onto one side if they want to commit now. Flashes coming out as well to slow them down. Toon Squad doing everything they can. This only gets harder and harder. The blind though is good, so Cruz will find Quaison for free. Hagi finds Mini. Dodo has found Quinn, and it's all up to Cruz. Unfortunate for Toon Squad, unable to win the round. NC3 finds themselves sitting very comfortable.
Seems like they were glad they full bought this round. And what I'd like to note is NC3 actually used just about all of their abilities that round. And I think this is the most abilities they've used in one round, and that really paid off. Especially since they were expecting the enemy team setup now. They knew that Teal would be on site, as he's been playing on site just about every round, and they're finally adapting.
You see Cruz has opted for the operator in round 11, trying to give his team as much advantage as he can. He gets smoked immediately though. So he's gonna have to take a little bit of a wider peek. Doesn't like it. He's gonna back off towards tree instead. Also, we go heaven of A, and this is where the majority members of NC3 are grouping. Actually slowly walking onto site, and if they are not careful, instead the peek from Quinn finds the head of Dodo. 2 members sitting outside of A main. Down goes the tripwire, but at the cost of the rest of the team. A flawless from Toon Squad after losing the previous round. Just
last round before the switch.
That was such a beautiful play by Toon Squad. NC3 just too busy looking at one corner at a time, not clearing everything at once, not paying attention to their surroundings, and really just getting caught with their pants on the ground. They didn't know what to do.
NC3 picked Ascent. Can they go into their defensive stand at even, or will they be down 7-5? They're setting up for a B-side push to try and determine this. 4 members actually have ARs and shields. 1 having a Spectre full shield, but all their abilities are available. You see the defensive stance. It's only 1 member on B site. You see 1 taking market now, but he is spotted by the Eldro, and there are 2 ultimates available. Here comes the Hunter Fury, finding 1, but takes down his own teammate as well, so it's an even trade across the board. This is not a good look for NC3. What could have been a 5v4 has now costed their team a straight trade, and they're going to rush towards A side through Cat. And Toon Squad, they're late on their own rotation back to A. They're going to find themselves in an awkward situation, but from the shadows is used, and we already see Quinn in a beautiful stand from behind the switch. He's able to stop the spike plant as another from heaven has taken down 1. Quinn finds himself a double kill and his team round number 7.
Switching sides.
That was an awkward round, especially considering that they just jumped in front of their own Sova's ult. Killjoy needs to watch out for that. It seems like there might have been a lack of communication across both teams, especially with how late the rotations were and just everything in general. I think that their comms need to be a little bit more open. But now that we see them switching sides, we'll see how this plays out.
Toon Squad will be on the offensive. You need to remember for the first half that NC3 were the ones in the lead for quite some time after winning the first couple of rounds. So we're gonna have to see if they're able to get that advantage back, or if Toon Squad this time around will be the one taking the early lead. Either way, these first 2 rounds will be important for both teams. And we see Toon Squad opting for the A side push. Immediately, all of NC3 rotate over, and this smoke is already stalled Toon Squad more than long enough. On the site, though, Cruz and Miniman will find a kill each. Even the head of Sloth. 3 members remaining. They're trying to do everything they can. Shot dart coming out. We'll find a little bit of damage, but at the cost of his life. Itaru will find a headshot with the kill. Oh, he tries to find Fadi. The damage is there, but not enough. As he finds the classic headshot, Quinn gets Quazon with the frenzy. It's all up to Fadi in heaven. They know where he's at. Quinn on the back end. He's lurking. He's trying to find him, and he will just in time as Fadi is looking for the flash.
That's the kind of entries I like to see from these teams, despite the fact that Mini is a Cypher player. He knows his abilities weren't going to be all that useful. In fact, the whole team saved that round for the most part. Most of them were above 400, while NC3 destroyed their economy in pistol round right at the very start. So this is a huge win for Toon Squad.
Oh, all Spectres coming out, but not full shields. They are opting for half shields for their second round. They're hoping that this is more than enough to take them into the bonus. 4 classic, 1 shorty, and it looks like mid is going to be the call for them this time. The first we've seen a true mid push coming in from either team, and they are waiting patiently. NC3 repositioning themselves to not allow themselves to fall immediately, but Quazon has the cheeky little logs pull the shorty, trying to find what he can. Unfortunately for him, he moves out, so Cruz will find his safety back in market. They're pushing hard, but NC3, they are outgunned here. They need to be careful. Over in CT, we already see Quinn doing everything he can to try and find the advantage. They're finding their way funneling out through mid. Backs turn, Mo finds some free damage, but with this hold on, CT, Quinn isn't even able to find 1 kill. Unfortunately, Mo will take his life. With the double hold, they don't want to get this gun up for free. Ataru, with the help of his teammate, will find Fadi. And Mini Mid will find 1. Field Dragon, he will be traded by Mo, but found Sleepy Sloth. Cruz trades Mo out. And it is now a 3 versus 1. Quazon trying to lurk from behind. He has 100 HP, 3 members low. But he's going to need to find some headshots if he wants to be able to take this. The Cypher Cam is going to find the target, though. Quazon has been found, spotted, and Cruz will find the kill with the through-the-wall headshot.
You know, I think NC3 was expecting to lose this. They were all pistols. They were all 5 stacking B. But the thing is they got what they wanted. They won the coin flip. They went B via through mid. But they also got into that close range battle where their classics were actually going to be very good. And you could see them chasing, not wanting to get any distance between them. Because as we saw when Quid was in CT, he was able to just shoot them from far away and they couldn't do anything about it. And so now we're actually starting to see them use the advantages that their guns bring. Though it wasn't enough for NC3 to take the round.
Toon Squad coming in with the bonus round. Interesting arrow decision coming out of Teal Dragon, not the usual sight clear arrow that we see for most teams. Okay, NC3, a little bit of knowledge here, and they're going to use it to their advantage with their A. The market flash coming out. Sloth is going to find the first kill on Teal Dragon. Cruz and Ataru, though, found 2. Mo and Fadi fall. Ataru finds 2. The awkward ultimate coming in from Quinn. Sloth right behind him takes him down, but Ataru's there to trade his life 3 against 1 to retake. Make that 2 against 1 as Quazon with the Phantom finds the head of Ataru. And a nice little CT sight hold. Although giving himself away was Cruz. Quazon a little bit more aware, is going to try and take this left side, but Miniman is still on site back. There's a tripwire. He's got to be aware. He is able to find it, so they know where he is at. Cruz,
1 enemy remaining.
It doesn't matter. The headshot is good from Quazon. He's been spotted. The Cypher's there. Miniman's trying to find everything he can. The drop takes too much damage, and it's more than enough for the classic headshot to win round number 10. 10-5, 3 left to go for Toon Squad.
Miniman really showing off why he has that 74% Cypher win rate. However, Crispy looking like he really could have used that turret or alarm bot, which were just sitting over on A site that he just completely forgot about.
Maybe he considered that the 20-second timer to get each of those back would not have been worth it. However, I do have to agree that any and all abilities you're able to bring back are going to be useful for retaking a site. We see NC3, half buys, sheriff's, frenzy, spectre, and even a stinger, whereas full ARs from Toon Squad. They're trying to entry onto site. Running back is taken down quickly though, thanks to the turret slowing down. Ataru going to be taken out, however. And NC3 trying to set up as best they can onto A. Although with all these members here, Toon Squad, they already knew what was happening, so they decided to rotate towards mid. And this may be an awkward situation for NC3 because they're trying to rotate over all the way to B. All these members mid though, it's going to be difficult to find anything. Shots coming out, Molly as well, cutting off NC3 from any damage ability.
I know exactly.
Awkward situation. Min finds his head and gives him the ultimate as well. Dodo will trade out one though. Taro being the one to fall. And that Molly is going to stop all mid aggression. They have to move into market or go back towards A. There is a member. It's Quinn. He's lurking from A side. Finds Quinn with the headshot. Min finds Mo, who tries to challenge with the frenzy.
Standing.
And Cruz, the peak, finds Dodo. It's all up to Fadi under Boathouse. But instead, Toon Squad, they decide A is going to be the better call. Bring him to us, not us to him. It's a stinger, not going to do much from the distance, but he needs to get close.
Spike planted.
Body, he's managed to find one using the tripwire as bait. Unfortunately for Min, he was not healthy enough to challenge our frenzy. The tremor comes out trying to find any stun. He may have been able to see the pixel head of Quinn, but it looks like he's decided not to go with it. Cruz, however, with the Vandal, finds the headshot as he drops down. Round 11 for Toon Squad. And time is coming for NC3.
Toon Squad is really just cleaning up on offense. Their movement is honestly phenomenal, and I think that's mostly because of their comms. They seem to just have better comms than NC3 at this moment. NC3 is kind of weird. They seem like they don't know how to play around mid, and that's something they need to learn on a map like Ascent if they're going to start picking it.
Either play mid or shut it completely off from sights. NC3 find themselves another AR round, but Toon Squad are the ones sitting pretty with their eco and lead. So we do see Mo trying to get as much shock dart damage as possible. Finds a little bit of damage, but not any kills or anything significant. However, it's gonna be easier to find these kills. Cruz just goes smoke, in goes Fadi, trying to find the corner damage, but he's just off the mark. Cruz does dash to safety, finding himself back towards his team, and the rotation is going to come to A. However, we do see Quazon doing a nice little hold over by tree. This corner, if not cleared, will cost Toon Squad heavily. We have to see what they're going to decide to do. And Quinn, he's going to be the one to go in first. He is going to check it. He doesn't notice it long enough in time, but it doesn't matter. Quazon, unable to find the headshot, is going to fall. And over in mid, Mini-Min is in a little bit of a battle, but Quinn comes back to take down Dodo for his teammate. Taro already on B site is going to do everything he can to clear out CT, but Mo is going to find him instead. Fadi, still near. Both finds one, make that two headshots. Quinn and Cruz each. Mo found Mini-Min as well. It's 1v3, all up to Teal Dragon. Can he do it? It does not look good. 62 HP, the dream. And he does find Sloth, however, but the damage Sloth got up has put him up to 10 HP, which now means any bullet will take the life of Dragon. And with this hold
10 seconds
on
left.
site, oh, he doesn't even check. The come from behind Mo will take down Dragon. And NC3 have found themselves their 6th round.
Toon Squad ended up falling to the folly NC3 did of not expecting somebody to be on that site. Having somebody on that B site really does take people by surprise because there's so many places to hide. You can be behind the boxes. There's multiple boxes to be behind. You can be playing backup site. And they use that to their advantage and were able to get multiple picks and turn that around.
Unfortunate loss for Toon Squad. However, it does not cost them much. They do have some nice eco still coming into this round number 18. However, they can't afford to lose it that easily. So NC3, They're gonna try their defensive hold yet again. Quazon making his way over to check Catwalk. He has his turret ready and does immediately get the recognition that members are there. In comes the Tremor, forcing the dash out of Cruz. And the Hunter's Fury comes in as well. He's wanting to clear everything he can. He does manage to find a little bit of damage, but not enough. Sloth, however, finds the head of Itaru. Managed to find the head of another, but not the third. Through the wall, Dragon will finally shut him down. And with the defensive lockdown being used, Toon Squad, the last three members decide we need to rotate towards B. NC3, they are holding strong at A. A little late in delay of a rotation, but with the mid push coming through from Toon Squad, a couple members have made their way over. In comes the alternate as well. The under shock coming down, the makes the earth shake. Tremor concussed as well. The shock dart, Dragon is on himself in trouble, and he does get picked up by Mo. Body, however, gets hit by mid, and so does Mo. But Dodo and Quazon with the headshots clean up the last two.
Beautiful use of utility on NC3's side, really using it to clear out the corners, to check corners, making sure that really no matter where Toon Squad could go, they wanted to make their life miserable for them.
Well, NC3 are starting to make their very own comeback. This comfortable lead for Toon Squad is quickly starting to go away. They need something good to happen here soon. Cruz does have the ultimate, so he is going to full buy and not have any rifle, it looks like, this time around.
Get out of my way!
The pistol and full armor, he pops it immediately. Toon Squad, their presence is known at B, but there's two members lurking towards A. These three may be trying to get a full rotation across the map, see if they can pull away. And in goes Cruz and Minimin. They have started looking towards site, but the turret there is a little bit of a spot out. So Quazon is more than well aware. Sloth starts rotating over. The awkward thing is here, three members have made their way towards Catwalk as well. The Molly is going to be popped. Quazon's more than aware of what's going on. And now NC3 have found themselves in a trap position against Toon Squad, who's just funneling one side, no one checking their back. And look who it is in mid. Body may be able to find a lurk from behind. Dodo finds the head of Itaru as they push through the tree. Heaven makes that another kill for Sloth. Quinn finds Dodo, but unfortunate the trade out. The ultimate coming in from the Brimstone. Oh, the through the wall headshot on the Cruz for Sloth. Miniman finds Mo lurking around CT side. Sloth, he's trying to do what he can, low HP.
I know exactly
where.
30 seconds
these
left.
two members lurking around the corner. They're going to spot where these three remaining members are. He wants to find a kill, is unable to do so. Dragon with the headshot. They're going to run their butts to B. They want to make this as quick as possible. The tripwire onto market door, onto site, and Dragon with his Hunter's Fury is going to play off. However, he needs to remember this is still a 2v2, and with how much time on the retake there is, he can't afford to be caught in a 2v1 with that ult. We already see Fadi. He's on site. Nobody knows. There's no tripwires to stop him coming from CT. Quazon following behind, two members against one so far. In comes the flash. Miniman, however, is where he's sitting. He already has no way of being flashed.
No more
He's able to find information with the
Player
tripwire,
standing.
but coming through is Quazon. It's already not a good situation for Teal Dragon. He needs to start the Hunter's Fury now because he's heard the defuse. In the awkward situation, he took so much time.
One enemy
He
remaining.
sticks it. Buddy sticks it. But it doesn't matter because Quazon on site gets the rest of the defuse. Halfway already was the spike.
Toon Squad is starting to make the same mistakes NC3 did. First with not recognizing somebody could be on B site, and now with the Hunter's Fury playing around that, especially in a 2v2 situation like that. However, NC3 has to be pretty happy because especially when Toon Squad gets the 12th win, that's really when morale can drop because then you know you have to go into overtime. But they're on a pretty good here, and they're probably going to try and keep that up as best as they can.
Toon Squad full buying yet again. Itaru going with the Sheriff option, even though Teal Dragon was available to buy him an AR if they really wanted to commit to this. So NC3, they're sitting at nice with their own eco. However, two members are at 0. So this is a make or break round. This may determine the next winner after this one. And for Toon Squad, they win this one, that could mean around number 13. NC3, that could mean around number 10. Both teams have decided to slow down immensely after a little bit of presence shown towards A, backing up into long towards their own spawn. NC3 are standing strong. Drew's going to be the one to make contact with the turret. Decides to just cross all the way over. Quasar is not making yet. He's sitting at double stack. Trying to see what he can. Quinn will find the first kill on the top. Quasar will take down 2 in return. Miniman and Quinn both falling. Dragon will return the kill finally onto him. Fatty finds one. Dragon finds him. Duo Odo will find Cruz. Oh, but also find Dragon through the floorboard. An unfortunate loss there for Toon Squad. It's now 11-9. The ecos for both teams are in awkward positions. And there's a couple
They really are.
Recruit, there's a couple of team buys, but like, one of these teams at some point have to decide we need to full save and get this together.
I think, well, hey, it actually looks like Toon Squad is turning it around, and they listen to you. They're now saving. They have sheriffs. But they just seem to not know how to deal with that. Killjoy is seeming to be their main enemy, and since Killjoy is always on A, it seems like they're finally choosing to go B, but we'll see how this plays out.
Oh, that Tremor Shock Dart combo is finding the damage, almost finding the kill onto Dragon as well. Molly coming out from Ataru, he just communicated in time, it looks like, with the Sova. Hey, get away, I'm healing. But NC3 have a strong stance on B site because, well, that's a lot of damage just off of a few ability usage. And they're already predicting the rotation. Members have started rotating through mid towards A, back to mid. And Ataru being spotted out. This is an awkward situation for Toon Squad. It's already known what they're doing. NC3 has gotten more than used to it. And this may not be the rotation they want to make. Possible fake could have been used, but instead they're going to dedicate onto Catwalk. And with the turret being used, I'm surprised that both mollies weren't popped already. Quason's already able to get one down. The defensive lockdown does come out. There is no Hunter's Fury to take it out. So Sloth will find the headshot onto Ataru, who had the only ultimate available for his team. 4 members remaining, and they're rotating towards B.
30 seconds
left. Cruz in market. He's not going to take the door down, but Mo has found Dragon lurking in mid. Sloth finds Cruz as well.
Standing.
Body finds
Spike
Miniman.
down, B.
Yeah, well, it's all up to Quinn. The Sheriff, 43 HP. This ain't going to be easy. Mo checking both corners. The headshot is better, though, and Sloth will return the kill through the wall.
Like you said earlier, Vengeance, they're probably going to get around 10 out of it, and they did. There was not much Toon Squad could do with, especially just Sheriffs, being a very long-range pistol. However, I'm liking what I'm seeing from NC3 here. They're now communicating their abilities. They're now using more of their abilities. And it seems like it's Toon Squad who's failing at their communication. Now, as we saw the Phoenix with the Molly almost hitting his own teammate and killing him. He only had 6 health left.
Communication is a heavy factor when it comes to these team games, especially competitively. We see the running back used immediately. It is shut down by Quasar, but Minimin is there to return the kill. The Molly into main is not able to find any damage as members have already surged onto site. Dragon is going to get the plant down, and this retake will be a 4v5. Toon Squad have come out clean heavy. They're finding a kill. A traded out by Foddy, but Quinn and Dragon each find their own. It's all up to Mo. Can he do it? It's going to be difficult, but it's possible. 1v4. He has the L-drone for vision if he decides to use it. He's going to opt not to. Oh, he finds the kill, though. The tripwire comes through. He's been spotted, and Dragon will get the headshot through the wall. The 12th round has finally been found for Toon Squad. They changed the tempo. They've taken over, and they find themselves on match point.
Toon Squad can now find comfort in knowing that even if they ruin their econ in the next few rounds here, they have that overtime to fall back on. And I really like that Cypher trip. He was just not expecting it, and they were able to close out the round because of that. But if you also notice, Sloth was coming in from the back, but because of how slow he was playing it, he was trying to check where everybody was. Because he played it that slowly, he was able to get found and killed before he can do anything.
Toon Squad doing an interesting B push as comes the Sova arrow, and it's gonna spot members of Toon Squad. And it looks like they just went into what do we do now mode, because they just stared at each other for a brief second, deciding they're gonna go mid. Smoke has come out onto Catwalk. Quasar unable to see anything. He's gonna take a couple pot shots, but nothing will be found. Audie, he's hiding from the L-jump best he can. Sloth will find Quinn, however, through the wall. In comes the ultimate from Fadi. He wants to find every bit of damage and stall that he can. Members there. Fadi finds one miniman, trades him out. Mo will return that kill. And Sloth, he's still 4 versus 2 in their favor. He's trying to find every bit of positioning he can. Dragon, Cruz. Awkward situation is they are kind of stuck at mid. 3 members, however, have rotated A. If Toon Squad can recognize, they may be able to push towards B. But no, this decision making is not the easiest to keep up with because it looks like they're going A, but they finally decide B. However, they are taking long that NC3 may be able to find a
30
rotation
seconds left.
just in time. Arrow doesn't find anything at B, so members are still deciding what to do. Cruz is just bouncing back and forth. He should just rotate over. This is a 2-2 split possible, but they're not taking it. But Mo, he found the head of Cruz with this work. He finds the head of Steel Dragon as well, and just comes up big for his team on his own.
Toon Squad really got put into a scramble by a simple recon dart, and honestly they can't be having that happen, especially since that just made them lose their communication. They sent 2 smokes to smoke out Cat when they only needed 1, and you could tell that they just weren't communicating. They went into a sort of mob mentality where they were just kind of following each other, seeing who was going to take up the leadership position, and I think they just need to have a more open comms.
We'll have to see what they're able to do here as Toon Squad is just all sent on to A. However, there's already a 3-stack here with but through the smoke, Cruz on the head of Dodo. The mollies come out, and it just gets mowed down one after the other. The separation, it seemed that molly caused 3 members fall one after the other like dominoes. It's all up to Cruz and Ataru, all on their own.
1 enemy remaining.
But Sloth just shows he's a little bit better right now. The phantom headshot onto Cruz. And, well, Ataru, I think he understands how difficult this situation is. It looks like overtime is going to happen unless he pulls off an insane 1v4. And Sloth, he's like, oh, but the awkward decision-making instead. But through the smoke, through the wall, we'll find Ataru. We're going to overtime.
Toon Squad really got too comfortable having that 12th win, and NC3 getting it all together, making sure that they're using all of their utility to the best that they can. And now we're seeing an Odin buy come out from the Sova, and they're going B. We might see a wallbang play here.
Well, in Squad, they do need to find something to get their momentum they once had back, because NC3 is on a tear. They are feeling themselves, and for whatever push they decide, they may find themselves at a quick victory for this round number 25. We do see 2 members from Toon Squad have decided to post up onto B, and this is where NC3 have already dedicated. The sonar arrow is going to need to be used soon. It goes through after Ataru takes a little bit of damage, and in comes the Odin, but it's not finding the damage he was hoping at all. As finally someone backs up into it, Dodo will take a little bit of poke from it, and Ataru, he's rotated it out through mid. He has left Steel Dragon on site all alone, who has decided he's going to sit in the back site of B. This is a little bit of an awkward situation because Toon Squad, they do have a member flaking, but the push is coming to Quazon. Hits on the Ataru. Dragon finds 2 headshots without making that 3 kills. He's come up huge for Toon Squad as Kin. He's found one of his own. It's all up to Mo. He does find one. He's on site, unable to find the second as Quinn comes onto site for the headshot himself. And Toon Squad have found themselves the first round of this overtime.
He wasn't expecting to use that Odin that way, but it ended up working out for him in the end. They just all funneled in, and he just lasered them one by one with that Odin. Really shows that any buy could really just turn the tide of a war.
This is either double overtime or match point going the way of Toon Squad. They have posted at A. They are looking to be aggressive, making all the noise they can. The smokes, the tremor, even the molly will be used to slow them down as much as possible. So they decide they're going to rotate completely out of A. But Quazon, he's in a position to hear all of this. Mo, he's going to be lurking over in mid. They have the ability to take them out. Mo will find the first kill onto Cruz. He's trying to find another through smoke, unable to do so. Gets tagged a couple of times. Taru, oh, what are you doing, my man? He didn't check the corner. Quazon gets the kill. Steel Dragon finds 5-minute return, but Body gets 3 members lined up together to take round 26 their way and send us into
Switching
double
sides.
OT.
Overtime.
Toon Squad gets 1 win, and they just, their confidence just goes through the roof, and they just think that they can just blow through it all, but they just got humbled right here. They didn't check their corners, and that's just a play that you can't afford to make at this kind of level.
Toon Squad will be on the defensive start here. NC3 setting up A this time around instead of B. It looks like they will split between mid and long. They're just trying to find every little chance that they can. Body, maybe the one leading the charge onto A side. He does have the spike. Quinn is waiting around the corner with the tripwires available to him as well. And we see B, 2 members just sitting on site deep. 1 in mid, just lurking. Plays on and Sloth doing everything they can, but Quinn, he finds Mo. Body sprays him out. Min will find Body though. This becomes awkward, but Quazon finally finds the return kill through the boxes. It's 3 versus 3. A site is going down. The retake is going to have to happen. This becomes an interesting situation. As we see NC3's Dodo, he's taking an aggressive stance, trying to find members in heaven, unable to do so. So Sloth gonna lurk underneath in hell. We do see from the side that the Itaru is going to be there. He wants to find his
1 enemy remaining.
He does find Quazon. Teal Dragon found the other. It's all up to Sloth. He finds one. That's an awkward situation. It gets him in trouble as Itaru, supporting Teal Dragon, will find the kill. The 14th round goes the way of Toon Squad.
You know, NC3 really must be feeling this pain right now, as they only have a hope of tying it back up, and you have to remember this is NC3's map choice. Toon Squad still gets to go to their map after this.
But we do see a timeout is going to be used here by Toon Squad. They really want to talk out their attack round because they know they've been winning round number 1 of these overtimes every single time, and in the history of Valorant so far, every time someone turns it around and finally wins their first round of OT, they managed to win both back-to-back and take it from behind. They want to make sure that they will outright defeat NC3 here, talk about their strats, and hopefully talking about that communication as well.
Yeah, I mean, every time we've seen this, every time they get that 1 win, again, that confidence, they honestly just need to watch themselves. They need to play the game properly, play it correctly, check your corners, play slowly, know when to be aggressive. And so they're really talking it out. They're making sure that they have everything unlocked this time, because that has been their downfall. And so I think this is good that they're taking the time to do this.
Well, timeout is coming to a close. There's still 20 seconds left on the setup for this overtime round. Will it be the final? We don't know. We're gonna have to find out, because round number 28 is going to start in the next 10. We already see NC3, 3 members sitting towards B, 1 in market, 2 on site. This is a full setup coming from Toon Squad, and the Killjoy is here with the mollies. It's going to be hard to take down this site. In comes the arrow. It's destroyed, so they do have a little bit of information, not a whole lot. As Teal Dragon and Itaru work towards 2 are in mid, however, a little bit of damage onto Sloth. Body is ready with the flash. He does get a flash out. Sloth will find Quinn. Body will find Cruz. This is now a 5v3. Miniman is on site, but Quazon is more than ready for him. Itaru is lurking. He's ready for market. He shoots, but isn't able to find the kill. So Body knows where he is. They flash each other. Itaru will win that one. NC3 Sloth will take down Itaru Dragon. It's all up to him. If he clutches this, his team will be up 1 map. Otherwise, it's triple OT. The 3 members are just waiting at B. Dragon, he's trying to take all time. That's awkward for him because there's a turret. He needs to get out as fast as he can. He wants to make them just think really hard about what's going on with 3 members here. 1 could freely rotate over to A already, and it looks like Quazon is going to be that one. However, it looks like 2 teammates may follow as Dodo decides that he's going to end up sitting behind. He doesn't want to. Actually, no.
30 seconds left.
I was going to sit with him as well. There's no one even rotating to A. Instead, they're watching mid. If Teal Dragon hustles, he could be on site free planting and get into position. But because of that arrow, all members of NC3 know what's going on. He gets the plant down, but he does not have his ultimate. He still has to find a kill for the 3 members up. He needs to be able to take them out easily. And They just pour out together. He isn't able to decide which target to take. Quazon will find the kill. We are going into triple OT.
NC3 really playing to their advantages now, and you know, Toon Squad thought we'll change it up. You know, we'll pause the game, we'll talk it out, we'll make sure that we're ready for this next round. And NC3 said, all right, we'll go ahead and take that timeout ourselves and we'll plan it out. And they actually swapped the Killjoy over to B site, which we hadn't seen in many rounds. And so I think that just caught Toon Squad off guard, who are trying to avoid the Killjoy, because that always seems to be their biggest problem, is getting caught out by that turret, and then they don't know what to do after that.
Keep up.
Well, NC3 are looking to take their first OT round of every OT so far. Instead of being the ones having to tie it up, they want to try and put that pressure on Toon Squad themselves. They're going to go ahead and get the ult orb over A side on Fadi, see if they can get some kills with it as well. The lurk is strong. We already see Cruz and Quinn both lurking heaven, and Shri. We do see Sloth himself. He's getting ready to push Catwalk, but Mo, he wants to try and clear down Hell, and that's actually where Cruz is. And in comes the damage, but he's able to dash away to avoid both of them. That had to be heard, though. There are now 4 members on A. There's 2 in mid lurking for NC3, but they did not push up at all. So instead, they're going to fake leaving A, and it looks like Toon Squad, for the most part, have fallen for it. However, Quinn spotting Sloth gets a little bit of damage, but manages to go back, not going to fall that easily. And Ataru finds the first kill onto Quazon. The headshot in mid. Cruz finds Dodo. Oh, but Sloth and Mo each find one apiece. And Miniman found Sloth. It's all up to Mo. Yet again, Toon Squad finds one. Oh, the look away Min will find him in return. And Toon Squad are yet again on match point.
Switching sides.
For a while there, it seemed like NC entirely knew what was going on, because they were putting Toon Squad on a jog. Toon Squad got their cardio in, running back from site to site. But NC3, I think, just didn't recognize how much mayhem they were causing in Toon Squad, and so they were unable to capitalize it, and that was ultimately what led to their downfall.
Well, you mentioned before that Toon Squad is doing everything they can to avoid the Killjoy. It looks like they're going to this time around. Mo is going to be alone on B side. He's going to have Sloth lurking over in mid. And what? No, instead of pushing B, Toon Squad has decided they want to take mid, but they need to be fast if they're going to do this because of the setup coming out from NC3. It is spotted where they're at, however, so they decide instead we are not going mid. We are rushing into B side. Sloth will be free into market. Smoke coming out. Cruz is going to help his team try and get on site. Puts a spray through the smoke coming out from Sloth. Will help Mo take down Cruz. He finds Min as well. Steel Dragon finally gets him. Hey, Taru and Quinn find one apiece. So this only leaves 1 member on site, but he manages to find Quinn. The spike carrier didn't go to plant. It's all up to Steel Dragon. He finds one, but behind him is Sloth. And NC3 have yet again taken us into another OT.
Switching sides. Overtime.
That was a fiesta. Honestly, I don't know what was going through the minds of both sides. It seems like everybody here is playing a single-player game. They're forgetting that they have teammates who they need to rely on and whom they need to communicate with.
Whatever the case, we are finding ourselves in Quadra OT. And it may continue on beyond this. NC3 and Toon Squad, neither of them making the mistake that they need to full out lose the map. Molly, though, from Ataru is good enough to take down Sloth's body. He's going to trade him out, but Miniman will take him in return. 4 versus 3 in favor of Toon Squad so far. These defensive stances from both teams in OT have been strong. The Odin trying to find the kill in the last 2. Does find damage onto Dodo, but does not finish him off. Oh, Quazon finds Cruz. Miniman finds Dodo and leaves 1 member in behind, and dragging through the wall with the Odin will find Quazon a 3v1. NC3 will yet again be down to tie up this round.
The suppressing fire from that Odin is just so oppressive. They don't know what to do about that. It seems like NC3 keeps going to B, expecting a miracle to happen, but they just never play around that Odin. And honestly, that's what they need to start looking around. But now that they're on offense, they're just hoping for a win at this point. They don't want to lose this, especially not on their map, where then they have to go to Icebox, which... an interesting choice from Toon Squad.
Toon Squad looking to set up a. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't just decided to rush B at the start of a round, or even just catwalk, because I feel like they should learn by this point that this Killjoy likes setting up at the entrances of each site. And with that blind Quazon, he's gonna have an idea of when to pump these balls on the site on mini
Enemy
falls.
remaining.
All members fall one after the other. Only Dodo falls for NC3, and that is a quick
Switching sides.
tie.
Overtime.
We are into round 33.
Honestly, what is there even to say there? They just got mowed down by a hail of bullets. They heard the part where you said charge in, but they didn't quite hear the part where you said charge mid or cat. Every time they just walk into, this is the problem with both sides, honestly, is they keep walking into traps on site, and they need to learn to just try to go around it somehow, either with utility or by just going into a different path.
You know, both teams seem to understand their combo on the defensive side for their abilities, but we need to see that one team just break through with their ability to use it on offense. And NC3 already starting off with a trade in mid. Quazon falls, Sloth takes down Ataru in return, but this time NC3 are the ones pushing mid. There is no one defending this, although Quinn, he may be looking to find two in mid. He's unable to find either, so Mo will take him down with the headshot. It's a 4v3 in favor of NC3, and they decide A is the way to go, whereas we still see Steel Dragon is over at B. Cruz, he rotated that way, so it's going to be a long time before he even has any help, and he decides to play aggressive and is punished for it by Sloth. Finds the head.
Spike
Cruz,
planted.
Dragon, it's all up to them. And NC3, it's possible they have finally found their breakthrough round to return the favor and maybe take map number 1. Even though Cruz did find the first kill of this retake, they're trying to find everything else they can. There's one member lurking in hell, one in main left side towards Wine. There's one on Spike. It's gonna be difficult. Interesting shock dart that hurt Cruz more than anything else. Body is found.
Remaining.
Cruz finds one, Teal Dragon finds the other. It's a 2v1. Someone has to defuse. Someone has to hold against base, but the Molly goes out. They're gonna have to commit their lives to this one.
Standing.
It doesn't get to half. NC3 has found their first round win of OT and have completely turned the tides.
Switching
That
sides.
was an awesome
Match
round
point.
coming out from NC3. They finally did not just rush onto a site falling into trap after trap. They now instead played around it, baiting out the traps and actually just avoiding some entirely, such as Teal. And with that, they were able to go and get the plan on A. And with the beautiful Molly, and Fadi was in a perfect lineup to where they couldn't even see him. So they had to play it more slow. It just made for the perfect stall, which ended up the perfect round for them.
NC3, I'm sure, are feeling a sigh of relief. The pressure's been taken off them, put onto Toon Squad, whose attacking rounds have not been looking so hot on these OTs. Ataru did get spot by the Sova arrow. They have an idea of where some of Toon Squad are. However, they're letting Quazon essentially solo hold B because of this Molly setup. This time B is the call for Toon Squad. One member lurking mid. They've been spotted out. The damage abilities have been released. The flashes are ready as well. But Ataru's lurk may be a decisive factor for this round, as all 5 members are mid, peeking towards B. And he has found a huge flank. Matter of fact, he's found such a big flank. The team, they're going to rotate all the way to the spawn towards A. And Ataru finds one. He's almost traded out by Sloth, but can he? The dash comes through. He's not ready when he comes back, though. He's still moving, so Sloth will find Ataru. And A is now gone even because the team is not there yet. 2 members will be up in heaven. 2 members will stay on B. Sloth is looking to find anything. Mini-Min is too low. He doesn't want to continue challenging. Oh, Cruz gets a little bit of damage, but it's not enough to find the kill. So instead, he's going to dash onto site, give his team an opening. Smoke's coming out as well. They want to make sure that these members of NC3 do not have easy kills lined up for them. This may be a 4v4 retake. Mo, he takes down the door tree
Spike
quickly.
planted.
Members are on site. Killed Mo and Body each finding Quinn all alone under heaven. He's doing everything he can. The flash comes out, and it is finally done. NC3 have turned around, taken the victory. Map number 1 goes their way after 34 rounds.
That was a struggle
Defenders
and
win.
a grind, which honestly shouldn't be feeling too bad. Toon Squad shouldn't be, because they were able to draw out this match for so long on NC3's map. And at the end there, Sleepy Sloth, Fadi, Mo, all ending out with very high frags.
Incredible gameplay coming out from both teams, but it finally came down to NC3 finding the opening mistake from Toon Squad, and are able to get the victory they were looking for on their map 1 going their way. And this is just something to look at these stats as well. We already see Sloth on top, 31 kills along with Fadi. These two came up huge for their team, and Toon Squad, their highest it looks like was 26, 28, 24. They're just coming up so short.
And honestly, I think that was because of the utility diff. I mean, NC3 ended up learning towards the end of the rounds there that, hey, we have this utility, let's use it. And they have a lot of damaging utility at that. I mean, 4 of their characters can damage you with their utility, not including ults, because then all 5 of theirs would be able to. And Toon Squad just didn't know how to play around that. And they were dying to a left and right, getting injured, causing them to be one-shot. And that just really weakened their offense. And so they couldn't break through NC3's defense because of that.
Well, going into map number 2, Toon Squad, it's their map, but the pressure is going to be on them instead. But before we go ahead and get into that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break. So stick around, get your drinks, get your food, do whatever you need to, because we're going to be back with more Ice and Fire Amateur Division action after this.